Thank you for not giving up on us. During dinner, Michael took out his phone. Brooke sent me a message. She says she'll be here in 5 days and hopes the kids are ready. Ready for what? Chloe asked. Michael looked at me. It was time to tell them. Kids, when your mother comes back, things are going to change a lot. Dad is going to file for divorce. I expected tears, protest, drama. Instead, Leo asked, are we still going to be able to come to Grandma's? You're going to live with me, Michael said, and you'll see your grandma every day if you want. And Mom? Aiden tried to sound indifferent, but I saw the pain in his eyes. Your mom will have to make decisions. But no matter what happens, you are going to be okay. I promise you. That night, as I tucked Leo in, he told me, Grandma, you know what? I don't miss the iPad anymore. It was a small miracle, but big changes always start with small miracles. There were 5 days left until Brooke's return. 5 days to finish preparing everything. Because when she walked through that door, she wouldn't find the broken children she had left, nor the submissive mother-in-law she expected to manipulate. She would find a united, strong family, ready for battle. And I, the old retired teacher who, according to her, did nothing, was about to teach her the most important lesson of her life. Never, ever underestimate the power of true love over manipulation. The 10th day began with a revelation that changed everything. Chloe came to my room at 6 in the morning, her eyes red from lack of sleep. Grandma, I need to tell you something. Something I haven't even told Dad. I sat up in bed and hugged her. What's wrong, my girl? Mom. Mom has another phone. One that Dad doesn't know about. She hides it in her makeup bag. One day, I saw it by accident and... She trailed off, trembling. And what did you see? Photos. Lots of photos. Of her with Uncle Dominic. But also, there were documents. Papers from a bank in Miami. And something about a house she bought there. My heart stopped. A house in Miami? Yes. And there was more. An email from a lawyer about custody. Mom wants to take us to live in Miami with Uncle Dominic. It said something about how the U.S. doesn't have an extradition treaty for civil cases or something like that. My God. Brooke wasn't just planning to leave Michael. She was planning to steal the children and disappear. Is there anything else I should know? Chloe hesitated, then pulled something from her pajamas. It was a USB drive. I copied everything. I don't know why I did it. Maybe because deep down, I knew that someday someone would need to see it. I hugged her tightly. My 10-year-old granddaughter had had to carry this secret alone, being braver than many adults. I plugged the USB into my old computer. What we found was devastating. Not only was there evidence of the house in Miami purchased in Dominic's name with money Brooke had been siphoning from their joint accounts for 2 years, but there was also a detailed plan. Phase 1. Convince M that I need a training trip to Miami. Phase 2. During my absence, Dominic will empty the house of anything valuable. Phase 3. Upon my return, I will provoke a fight with the old woman. I'll make it look like she mistreated the children. Phase 4. I'll use that to justify leaving with the children, for their safety. Phase 5. Once in Miami, there's no turning back. But the worst was in an audio file. It was Brooke talking to someone on the phone. I don't care if the brats cry for their dad. They'll forget in 2 months. Besides, Michael is so pathetic he won't even fight. And if he does, I have edited videos that make it look like he hits Aiden. Technology works miracles, my friend. Chloe was crying. Was Mom going to say that Dad hit us? Your mom was willing to do anything to get her way. But Dad has never laid a hand on us. Never. I know, my love. That's why I've been recording everything since you arrived. To protect you and your dad. Just then, Aiden walked in. What are you guys talking about? Chloe told him everything. I saw the fury grow in my eldest grandson's eyes. I'm going to kill her. I'm going to... No, Aiden. You're not going to do anything violent. That's exactly what she wants. A bad reaction to use against you. We're going to be smarter than her. How? With the truth. And with the law on our side. I immediately called the lawyer I had contacted. When I explained the situation, he told me to come immediately with Michael. While we waited for Michael, who had gone to run some errands, Leo joined us in the living room. Why is everyone sad? We're not sad, my love, I told him. We're preparing. For what? To protect our family. Leo thought for a moment. Then he said something that broke my heart. Grandma, I know Mom doesn't love me. Once I heard her tell Uncle Dominic that I was a mistake, that if it weren't for me, she would already be free, 7 years old. My 7-year-old grandson had heard his own mother call him a mistake. Leo, look at me. You are not a mistake. You are a gift. And if your mother can't see that, it's her loss, not yours. Then why did she have me? Aiden answered before I could. To trap Dad. Mom got pregnant with you right when Dad had asked for a divorce the first time. Dad wanted a divorce before? Chloe was surprised. 3 years ago, I heard them fighting. Dad had found out that Mom had spent Grandpa Richard's insurance money on a trip with her friends. But then Mom told him she was pregnant with Leo, and Dad stayed. I started connecting the dots. Richard's life insurance. I never knew how much it was, but Michael had told me he would save it for the children's education. Now I understood where it had gone. Michael arrived with a distraught look on his face. Mom, I went to the bank. Brooke emptied our savings account yesterday. $38,000. Everything we had saved in 10 years. Sit down, son. There's more you need to know. I showed him everything. The documents, the audio files, the plan. With each piece of evidence, Michael seemed to age years. How could I have been so blind? Dad, Aiden sat next to him. It's not your fault. Mom is a very good liar. She fooled all of us. But I'm their father. I should have protected them. You're protecting us now, Chloe said. That's what matters. The lawyer arrived at noon. Mr. Martinez, a man in his 60s with the face of a bulldog but kind eyes. With all this evidence, we can not only prevent her from taking the children, but also request a restraining order. Attempted parental kidnapping is a serious crime. Plus, the financial fraud. We're talking about jail time. I don't want her to go to jail, Michael said. I just want my kids to be safe. Dad, she was going to accuse you of hitting us, Aiden reminded him. She was going to destroy you. Still, I don't want her children to see their mother in prison. Martinez nodded. I understand. We can negotiate. She gives up custody, returns the money, and there are no criminal charges. But we need to act fast. What if she suspects something? She arrives in 4 days, I said. Perfect. Enough time to prepare everything. After the lawyer left, we all sat in the living room, my little living room that had seen so much history. Kids, Michael began, I want you to know that no matter what happens with your mom, I will always be here. And so will your grandma. Is Mom going to go to jail? Leo asked. We don't know. But she's going to have to face the consequences of her actions. Are we going to see her again? Chloe tried to sound indifferent, but it was her mother after all. That will depend on her, and on what the judge decides is best for you. That night, as we ate the chili I had made with Chloe's help, Aiden said something that filled me with pride. Grandma, thank you for not giving up, for fighting for us when we weren't even fighting for ourselves. I will always fight for you, always. You know, Chloe added, these have been the best days of my life. For the first time, I feel like I'm in a family. Me too, Leo said with a mouthful of chili. And Grandma's food isn't horrible. It's the best in the world. We laughed. For the first time in years, we laughed as a family. But while the children watched a movie in the living room, Michael and I had a more serious conversation in the kitchen. Mom, I'm scared. What if Brooke becomes violent? What if she tries to take the kids by force? That's why we have the plan. The day she arrives, the children will be at Carol's house. The police will be alerted. The lawyer will be present. She won't be alone with them for a single minute. And what if the kids miss her later? What if they hate me for separating them from their mother? The children will miss the mother they never had, not the one they do have. And with therapy and love, they will heal. We will all heal. I looked at my grandchildren in the living room, cuddled on the sofa watching the movie. In 10 days, they had changed so much. They were no longer the little broken tyrants who had arrived. They were children. Just children who needed love and boundaries. There were 3 days left until Brooke's return. 3 days to finish legally protecting these children. Because what Brooke didn't know was that while she was enjoying herself in Miami, an army had risen here, an army of love, truth, and justice, and we were ready for war. The last 3 days before Brooke's return were the most intense and beautiful of my life. It was as if the universe had given us this time to build the foundation that should have existed from the beginning. The 11th day dawned rainy. While I was making breakfast, I found Aiden in the living room looking at a photo album I had rescued from the destruction of the first day. "That's Dad," he pointed to a photo where Michael was his age. Yes, he had just won the state math competition. Look at the pride on his face. He looks like me. No, my boy, you look like him. And not just physically. You have his intelligence, his nobility. You had just buried it under pain. Aiden turned the page. There I was, 35 years old, with my first group of students. "You looked happy, Grandma." I was happy. Teaching was my passion. Like cooking, like loving you all. "Why did you let Mom push you away from us?" I sat next to him. "Out of cowardice. I thought that if I didn't make waves, one day she would change. But abusers don't change with submission. They get stronger." "Grandma, do you think I'm like Mom?" "Sometimes I feel so much rage inside." "Rage doesn't make you bad, Aiden. What you do with it is what defines who you are. Your mother uses her rage to harm. You can use it to protect, to build, to change what is wrong." That morning we did something special. I taught them how to make my mother's chili. 32 ingredients, 4 hours of preparation. A ritual I had waited years to share with them. "Why is it so complicated?" Chloe asked as we ground the spices. "The best things in life require time, patience, and love. There are no shortcuts for what is truly worthwhile." Leo was in charge of toasting the spices. His little face of concentration was pure poetry. "It smells like Christmas," he said. "It smells like tradition," I corrected. "Like history. My great-grandmother, your great-great-grandmother, made this chili. She survived the Great Depression, 2 world wars, and now it lives on in us. Are we history?" Leo seemed amazed by the idea. "We are living history, my love. Each of us carries the stories of those who came before." While we cooked, Michael worked at the dining room table with the lawyer, signing documents, preparing the legal strategy. From time to time, he would look at us with a sad smile. "Dad seems different," Chloe observed. "Your dad is waking up from a very long dream," I explained. "It hurts to wake up, but it's necessary." That afternoon, Dr. Wallace came for a special family session. "I want each of you to write a letter to Brooke. Not to send it, but to get out what you're carrying inside." Aiden wrote 3 pages of fury. Chloe, 1 page of questions. Leo drew his mother as a monster with suitcases instead of hands. Michael wrote only 1 line. "I forgive you, but I will not allow you to cause any more harm." I wrote, "I failed as a mother-in-law by not stopping you sooner. I will not fail as a grandmother. Now," the doctor said, "I want you to burn them. Let go of the pain." In the backyard, under the light rain, we burned the letters in a clay pot. As the paper turned to ash, Leo asked, "Are we free now?" "Now we begin to be free," the doctor replied. The 12th day was for practical preparation. Carol came with her sister Lauren from CPS. "The day Brooke arrives, the children will be at my house," Carol explained. "It's better they don't witness the initial confrontation." "But I want to see Mom's face when she realizes we know everything," Aiden protested. "No, my love," I intervened. "Revenge is not our goal. Protection is." Lauren reviewed all the documents. "With this, we can request emergency custody for Michael. Brooke won't be able to get near the children without judicial supervision." "What if she comes with that Dominic guy?" Michael asked. "We'll have a patrol car nearby. Any sign of violence and they'll intervene." That night, while the children were sleeping, I found Michael in the garden looking at the stars. "What are you thinking about, son?" "About Dad. Do you think he would be disappointed in me? Your father would be proud that you are finally doing the right thing. It took me a long time, but you got there. That's what counts." "Mom, how did you manage to raise a son alone? How did you find the strength?" "I didn't find it. I built it. Day by day, decision by decision, just like you are building it now." On the 13th day, the last day before Brooke's return, We decided to do something special, a real family day. We went to the park where I used to take Michael when he was a boy. The children ran, played, got dirty. For the first time in years, I saw them just being kids. "Grandma, look!" Leo had climbed the tallest tree. "I can see the whole city." "Be careful!" I shouted, but Michael stopped me. "Let him, Mom. He needs to feel brave." Chloe and I sat on a bench eating corn on the cob. "Grandma, when Mom comes back, is all of this going to end?" "No, my girl. This is just beginning. What's going to end is the fear, the manipulation, the lies. What if Mom cries? Whenever she cries, Dad forgives her for everything. Not this time. This time your dad has something stronger than your mom's manipulation." "What?" "The truth. And you all to protect." Aiden approached us with cotton candy for everyone. I spent my allowance, but it was worth it. That's my grandson. Learning that giving is worth more than receiving. At sunset, we returned home. The children were exhausted but happy. While I was making dinner, I heard them talking in the living room. "Do you remember when Mom used to bring us here?" Leo asked. "Mom never brought us here," Aiden replied. "Mom never took us anywhere that wasn't the mall." "But Grandma did," Chloe said. "In just 13 days, Grandma has given us more than Mom has in years." My heart swelled with love and sadness at the same time. During dinner, Michael made an announcement. "Tomorrow is going to be a difficult day, but I want you to know that no matter what happens, we are a family. And real families protect each other." "Is Mom not family?" Leo asked, confused. "Mom is your biological mother. But family? Family is who is here when things get tough. Family is who loves you unconditionally. Then Grandma is more family than Mom," Leo concluded with the simple logic of children. That night, as I tucked them in, each one said something I will cherish in my heart forever. "Aiden, Grandma, thank you for not giving up on me, even though I was horrible to you." "Chloe, Grandma, I want to be like you when I grow up. Strong and brave." "Leo, Grandma, can I call you Mama Helen? I already have a mom, but I need a real mom." I couldn't hold back the tears. "You can call me whatever you want, my loves. I will always be your grandma who loves you." Michael and I stayed in the kitchen late, going over the plan for the next day. At 10 in the morning, I take the kids to Carol's house. At 11, the lawyer comes. At 11:30, the patrol car will be on the corner. Brooke said she arrives at noon, and we will be ready. Before sleeping, I looked at the photos of these 13 days I had taken with my old phone. The transformation was impressive. From 3 broken and hostile children to 3 children healing, laughing, being a family. Tomorrow, Brooke would return expecting to find her submissive mother-in-law and her emotionally abandoned children. Instead, she would find the consequences of her actions. She would find that true love is always stronger than manipulation. She would find that the family she had despised had become an impenetrable wall protecting the children she had used as weapons. And I, the old retired teacher, was ready to teach the final lesson, the most important one, the definitive one. It was 11:58 in the morning. Michael and I were sitting in the living room with Mr. Martinez beside us. The documents were on the coffee table like soldiers ready for battle. My phone showed a message from Carol. "The kids are fine. Playing in the yard. They don't suspect a thing." At 12:03, we heard the engine of Brooke's SUV. My heart was beating so hard I was sure Michael could hear it. "Calm down, Mom," he said, taking my hand. "She has no power over us anymore." The door opened without a knock. Classic Brooke, walking in as if she owned the place. She was tan, wearing a new dress that probably cost more than my monthly pension, and dragging a Louis Vuitton suitcase. "Ugh, it's so hot," she exclaimed, without even looking at us. "Michael, what are you doing here? You should be at work. Where are the kids?" "I hope you haven't spoiled them, Helen. It's hard enough for me to." She stopped when she saw the lawyer. "Who is this?" "Brooke." Michael stood up. His voice was firm, nothing like the exhausted man who had arrived 13 days ago. "We need to talk." "Talk about what?" "I'm tired from the trip. The kids and I are going home." "The kids aren't here," I said calmly. "And they're not going anywhere with you." Her face changed. The mask of sweetness cracked a little. "Excuse me?" Michael, what does this mean? Mr. Martinez cleared his throat. Mrs. Miller, I'm Mr. Martinez. I represent Mr. Miller in the divorce and emergency custody proceedings he has initiated. Divorce? She let out a nervous laugh. Michael, honey, what did your mother do to you now? You know she's old and makes things up. No, Brooke. Michael took out his phone and played an audio file. It was her own voice. The brats get in my way. As soon as I can, I'll get rid of them. Michael is such an idiot, he won't even notice. The color drained from Brooke's face. That's edited. It's illegal to record someone without their consent. It's also illegal, the lawyer interjected, to open credit cards in your husband's name without his knowledge. $30,000 in debt, ma'am. I don't know what you're talking about. Michael placed the bank statements on the table. 3 cards, Brooke, all documented. We also have, I continued, evidence of the house in Miami. The one you bought with Dominic, using the money you stole from the savings account. I didn't steal anything. It's joint money, which you emptied without your husband's consent to buy a property in your lover's name, the lawyer specified. That's marital fraud. Brooke looked at me with pure hatred. This is all your fault, you meddling old woman. You always wanted to separate me from Michael. No, Brooke. You separated yourself. I just documented your crimes. Crimes? Please. What are you going to do? Sue me for being unhappy in my marriage? No, said Martinez, pulling out another document. For attempted international parental kidnapping, we have your complete plan to take the children to Miami without paternal consent. Brooke staggered. She had to grab the back of the sofa. The children are mine. I gave birth to them. Children are not property, I replied. And after 13 days with me, they made a decision. What did you do to them? Did you brainwash them? This is parental alienation. Michael laughed bitterly. Parental alienation? Seriously? The woman who told our children their grandmother was a dirty, poor old woman is talking about alienation? I want to see my children. Now. No. Michael's voice was pure steel. First, we're going to establish the rules. Martinez opened his briefcase. Ma'am, you have 2 options. First, you accept the divorce, waive custody, return the stolen money, and leave without making a scene. In return, we don't press criminal charges. And the second, we fight in court. With the evidence we have, you will not only lose the children, but you will also face charges for fraud, attempted kidnapping, and psychological abuse. 3 to 5 years in prison. Brooke collapsed onto the sofa. For the first time since I'd known her, I saw her without a mask. And what I saw was pathetic. An empty woman who had built her life on lies. You can't do this to me. I have rights. The children also have rights, I said. The right not to be manipulated, used, and emotionally abandoned. I never abandoned them. Oh no. How many trips have you taken this year, Brooke? 18. We have it documented. 18 times you left your children to be with Dominic. That's a lie. I took out my phone and showed the Facebook photos. Her and Dominic on every trip, while her children were left with a neighbor, with anyone but their father or grandmother. The children know everything, Brooke. They know about Uncle Dominic. They know he sleeps in their father's bed when he's not there. They know you call them brats. They know you were planning to take them to Miami. I want to talk to them. Not until you sign the papers, Michael said. Brooke took out her phone. I'm going to call Dominic. He's a lawyer. He'll defend me. Go ahead, said Martinez. But I should inform you that Dominic has already been notified that he is implicated in a fraud case. I doubt he wants to dig himself in deeper. She dialed. Once, twice, 3 times. Dominic didn't answer. He abandoned me, she whispered. The bastard abandoned me. Like you abandoned your family, I said. She jumped up. This isn't over. I will get my children back. I will. Mom? We all turned. Chloe was at the door. She had snuck away from Carol's house. My love! Brooke ran towards her, but Chloe stepped back. Don't touch me. Chloe, my baby. What did they do to you? What did this old woman tell you? Grandma didn't tell me anything. You said it all. In your messages with Uncle Dominic. In your lies. In every time you left us. I was working to give you a better life. No, you were traveling with your lover while we thought we were orphans with living parents. Aiden and Leo appeared behind their sister. Carol came running after them. I'm sorry, Helen. They snuck out when I wasn't looking. It's okay, I said. Maybe they needed to do this. Brooke tried to approach Aiden. Son, my love, your sister is confused. No, Mom, you're the one who's confused if you think we're going back with you. I am your mother. A mother doesn't call her son a mistake, Leo said in his little voice. I heard you. You told Uncle Dominic that I was a mistake. Brooke turned pale. No, I didn't. You're making that up. A mother doesn't steal her children's college money, Aiden added. A mother doesn't use us as an excuse for her lies, Chloe continued. A mother protects us, the three said in unison, like Grandma does. The silence that followed was deafening. I could hear the ticking of the wall clock, the hum of the refrigerator, even Brooke's ragged breathing. You're going to pay for this, Helen, she finally hissed. You don't know who you're messing with. I know exactly who I'm messing with. A narcissist who mistook kindness for weakness. But it's over, Brooke. Sign the papers and go. And if I don't want to, Michael stood up. Then we'll see you in court. And believe me, with what we have, you won't just lose the children, you'll lose everything. Brooke looked at her children one last time. For a moment, it seemed like she was going to cry. But narcissists don't cry for others, only for themselves. She grabbed the papers, signed them furiously, and threw them on the table. I hope you're happy. You've just taken a mother away from these children. No, Leo replied with a maturity beyond his 7 years. We just gained a family. Brooke stormed out, slamming the door. The engine of her SUV roared and faded away, taking 10 years of toxicity with it. The children ran to hug their father. The 4 of them cried, wrapped in an embrace, while I went to make chamomile tea for everyone. Is she gone for good? Chloe asked. I don't know, Michael answered honestly. But if she comes back, it will be on our terms. And if she doesn't come back? Leo's voice trembled. I sat with them on the floor, something I hadn't done in years. If she doesn't come back, we will move on. Because you don't beg for love, my children. Love is given freely, or it isn't love. Aiden looked at me. Grandma, are you okay? I'm better than okay, my boy. For the first time in 10 years, this family is free. That night, as we ate the chili we had prepared days before, Michael raised his glass of iced tea. To Mom. To the woman who saved us all. To Grandma, the children shouted. But I raised my glass for something else. To the truth. Because in the end, the truth always wins. And as I looked at my family, my real family, gathered around my humble table, I knew that all the pain had been worth it. The teacher had taught her last and most important lesson. It's never too late to stand up for what you love. 3 weeks had passed since Brooke slammed the door. 3 weeks of peace that were shattered one Thursday afternoon when she showed up unannounced. But this time she wasn't alone. I was in the garden with the children, teaching them how to plant tomatoes, when we heard voices at the entrance. I demand to see my children. I have a court order. Michael had gone to work. We were alone. But I was no longer the same helpless woman from before. Kids, go inside the house. Now. But Grandma? Aiden began. Now. They obeyed. From the window, 3 scared little faces watched. At the entrance stood Brooke, a man I assumed was Dominic, and a woman with a folder. Mrs. Miller, the woman introduced herself. I'm from social services. We received a report of child abuse and neglect against you. Of course, Brooke's counterattack. Perfect, I replied calmly. Come in. Check whatever you like. Brooke smiled maliciously. I also reported that my husband is an alcoholic and violent, and that you cover for him. Dominic added. We have witnesses who will confirm everything. Witnesses? I laughed. How much did you pay them? The social worker, a young woman named Patricia, seemed uncomfortable. Ma'am, I need to speak with the children alone. Of course. But first, can I show you something? I took out my phone and played a video. It was from day 3, when the children destroyed my living room. It clearly showed me remaining calm while they acted violently. This is what Brooke calls abuse. not responding to violence with violence. Patricia watched intently. The children did that? Ask them. And ask them why they did it. That doesn't prove anything, Brooke shouted. This old woman has them threatened. At that moment, Michael arrived. He had left work early. Behind him were Mr. Martinez and, to my surprise, Lauren from Child Protective Services. Patricia? Lauren greeted her colleague. What are you doing here? We received a report. Yes, we were notified. That's why I came. This family has been under my supervision for 3 weeks. I have a complete file. Lauren pulled out a thick folder. Psychological evaluations of the children, therapy reports, evidence of emotional neglect by the mother, attempted international kidnapping. That's false. Brooke was losing control. We also have this. Michael took out his phone. Recordings of Brooke admitting the reports are false. He pressed play. It was a conversation between Brooke and Dominic from that very morning, recorded because Dominic, trying to save himself, had started recording everything. It doesn't matter if it's true or not, Brooke's voice said. I just need CPS to believe me to get the brats back. With them in my possession, Michael will give me whatever I want. Dominic turned pale. You told me you didn't know I was recording. You imbecile. Brooke slapped him across the face. Patricia, the social worker, was speechless. Mrs. Miller, this is very serious. Filing false reports is a crime. I want to talk to my children. Talk to them, I said. But from here, kids, you can come out. The 3 of them came out holding hands. They stood 10 feet from their mother. Tell this woman the truth, Brooke ordered. Tell her how your grandmother abuses you. Grandma taught us how to cook, Leo said. Grandma listens to us, Chloe added. Grandma loves us, Aiden concluded. You just use us. She brainwashed you. It's parental alienation. Lauren intervened. Mrs. Miller, in my 20 years of experience, I have never seen such a clear case of projection. You accuse others of exactly what you do. I have something else to show, I said. I went into the house and came out with a box. These are all the cards, drawings, and letters the children have made for me over the years that you threw in the trash. I rescued them from the can when I came to visit. Look at the dates. Patricia reviewed the contents. There were dozens of discarded expressions of childhood love. For my grandma that I can't see, she read from a letter from Chloe from 2 years ago. I miss you, but Mom says you're busy. There's also this. Michael pulled out an envelope. The results from the private investigator I hired. Brooke has been living a double life. Not just with Dominic. She has profiles on 3 dating apps, all active. Dominic exploded. What? You told me I was the only one. Shut up, you idiot. Brooke was cornered. Patricia closed her folder. I've seen enough. Not only is there no evidence of abuse by Mrs. Helen Miller or Mr. Miller, but there is clear evidence of manipulation and false reports by Mrs. Brooke Miller. Furthermore, Lauren added, I am going to recommend that the mother's visits be supervised and that the children continue therapy. You can't do this. Yes, we can, said Martinez. And there's more. Mrs. Miller, you are being sued for fraud. The banks have already been notified of the fraudulent credit cards. Brooke looked at me with a hatred that could melt steel. This is all your fault. No, Brooke. I only brought to light what you did in the darkness. It was then that Dominic spoke. I'm leaving. Brooke, you lose. I'm not going down with you. You can't leave me. You promised we would be together. You promised you were rich, that the house in Miami was yours. It was all a lie. Dominic left, leaving Brooke alone in the yard. For the first time, I saw her as she truly was, an empty woman who had gambled everything on lies and lost. You have 5 minutes to leave, Michael said, or I'm calling the police. Brooke approached the children one last time. Someday you will understand what you did to me, and you will regret it. No, Aiden replied with surprising maturity. Someday, maybe you will understand what you did to us, and I hope you regret it. Brooke left. This time she didn't slam the door. She left defeated, empty, alone. That night, as we ate dinner, Chloe asked, Do you think Mom will ever change? I don't know, my love, Michael replied. But that's not our problem anymore. Do you hate her? Leo asked. I thought carefully before answering. I don't hate her, I pity her. Imagine living your whole life without being able to truly love, without knowing real happiness. That is her prison, one she built herself. 6 months later, it was Saturday morning, and my house was filled with laughter, not just from my grandchildren, but from 6 other children from the neighborhood. My living room, the same one that was once destroyed in a fit of rage, was now a small art workshop. Grandma Helen, look at my painting. A little 5-year-old girl showed me her work, a smiling sun over a house. After the scandal with Brooke, the story got out in the neighborhood. But instead of negative gossip, I received support. And when I mentioned that I missed teaching, the moms started asking if I would give private lessons. Now I had Helen's art house, classes in painting, crafts, and traditional cooking for children. I charged a fair price, $20 per class. But the real payment was seeing those happy little faces. Mom, Michael came in with coffee and cookies for everyone. He had changed so much. The exhausted and defeated man now smiled. He had gained a healthy amount of weight, and his eyes sparkled. How's the class going? Perfect. Like everything lately. The divorce had been finalized 3 months ago. Brooke didn't fight anymore, especially after the bank sued her and she had to declare bankruptcy. The last we heard was through Chloe, who saw on Facebook that she was working as a caregiver for the elderly in another state. The irony is delicious, Aiden had commented when we found out. Now she has to take care of old people for $20 an hour. Don't make fun, I scolded them. Honest work is dignified. Maybe it will help her find herself. The children had blossomed. Aiden was on the honor roll. Chloe had joined the volleyball team, and Leo had discovered a natural talent for music. My old piano finally had someone to play it. Grandma, Leo approached me during the class break. Can I ask you something? Of course, my love. Do you ever miss the mom she was before? Before what? Before she turned bad. I sat with him in the garden, the same one where everything had exploded months ago. Leo, your mom didn't turn bad. She always had that seed inside her. What happens is that some people choose to water the wrong seeds. She chose to water greed, lies, selfishness. And what seeds do we have? You have the seeds of love, honesty, bravery. And every day you spend here, with your dad, with me, those seeds grow stronger. That afternoon, after all the children had gone home, my family stayed for the Saturday dinner that was now a tradition. Michael cooked. He had discovered he had a talent. The kids set the table, and I enjoyed watching them. I have some news, Michael announced during dessert. I got promoted. Production manager. With the raise, I can pay off all the debts Brooke left in a year. Dad, that's incredible, Chloe shouted. And there's more. I was thinking, Mom, what if we expand your little school? We could build a proper classroom in the backyard. Michael, that's not necessary. Yes, it is. You saved my life, Mom. Mine and my children's. It's the least I can do. Aiden stood up. I have something to say, too. I wrote an essay for the school's writing contest. It's about Grandma. He cleared his throat and read, My hero doesn't wear a cape or fly. My hero is 67 years old, has wrinkled hands from working so hard, and the biggest heart in the world. My hero is my grandmother, who taught me that true love isn't bought with expensive gifts or lavish trips. It's built with patience, with boundaries, with presence. My grandmother saved me from becoming a monster. She taught me that family isn't just blood, it's a choice. And I choose my grandmother, today and always. I couldn't hold back the tears. Neither could Michael. Even Chloe, who acted tough, cried. I wrote something too, Chloe said. But it's a poem. Once there was a girl so lost, in a world of lies and frost. A grandma came with love so true, and showed her a path, fresh and new. Now the girl is lost no more, for she found love at her grandma's door. Leo didn't want to be left out. I didn't write anything, but I made you this. He pulled out a drawing. It was all of us in front of the house, holding hands. Above it, he had written in his child's handwriting, My real family. That night, after everyone had gone to sleep, Michael and the kids stayed on weekends. I went out to the garden. The full moon illuminated my tomato plants. which were already beginning to bear fruit. I thought of Richard, my husband. I did it, my love. I raised our son. And now I'm raising our grandchildren. Not how we imagined, but I'm doing it. I thought of Brooke, alone somewhere, taking care of the elderly for pennies. I hope you find peace, I whispered to the wind. I hope one day you understand that love isn't manipulated, it's cultivated. And I thought of myself, the retired teacher who didn't do anything anymore. I smiled. I had never done so much. I had never been so useful. I had never been so happy. The following Monday, while preparing for the next art class, I received an unexpected call. Mrs. Miller? This is the principal of Lincoln Elementary. We heard about your art school. We were wondering if you'd be interested in giving workshops here as well. Paid, of course. Life was giving me back everything I had sown, with interest. But the best reward came a month later. It was Mother's Day. I didn't expect anything. I had never been celebrated much on that day. That morning the children woke me up with breakfast in bed. "Happy Mother's Day, Mama Helen," the three of them shouted. "But I'm your grandmother." "You're more than that," Michael said from the doorway. "You're the mother we all needed." They handed me an envelope. Inside were legal papers. "What is this?" "The children want you to be their legal guardian as well," Michael explained. "In case something happens to me, they want to make sure they stay with you, not with Brooke." "It was our idea," Aiden clarified with pride. I cried. I cried like I hadn't cried since Richard died. But these were tears of pure joy. As we all ate breakfast together on my bed, which nearly broke from the weight, Leo asked, "Grandma, are you happy?" I looked around. My son, recovered. My grandchildren, healing. My house, full of life and purpose. "I'm more than happy, my love. I am whole." And it was true. Because in the end, it wasn't Brooke who lost. It was us who won. We won freedom. We won peace. We won true love. The teacher had taught her final lesson, but the learning would continue forever. Because that's what family is. A classroom where we never stop learning how to love. If this story touched your heart, if it reminded you that it's never too late to stand up for what you love, if it inspired you to set healthy boundaries, share it. Leave a comment telling us where you're reading from. Sometimes, the grandmothers who seem to do nothing are the ones holding the whole world together. And remember, respect isn't begged for, it's earned. And when someone doesn't offer it, it's time to demand it. Subscribe for more real-life stories, where true love always finds a way to win.